this is how to VOR the Cessna. Right, we open our navigation plan that we've already set up. The CPT is 114.35, so we put that in nav 1. And we switch it from standby and then we turn it on. And the VOR 1 has moved. Our heading is 010, I think that is. Yeah, so we changed the heading bug on the VOR 1 and then also on the compass. Okay, so now we need to tune in London approach. So we put that VOR in nav 2 and switch it from offline to standby. And we put the heading just into VOR 2, not the compass, because we're using the compass for nav 1 at the moment. And because it's only a two-way VOR, we're going to put the airport code in nav 1 on standby, so when we get there we can use it. Now we're off the ground. As you can see on VOR 1, we're to the right of the line, so we want to keep flying straight until that line straightens up, and then we want to turn on our heading, which we've set with our heading bug. Now we're turning onto our line, we want to turn towards our heading, and then we'll be heading towards it. Alright, so as you can see on our VOR 1, we're pretty much in line. It doesn't matter if you're a little bit off, you don't have to be dead centre. Pretty much on line, and we're just heading towards our heading bug, which is set to 10. So just doing like final adjustments. Now we're pretty much straight. You can set autopilot on for altitude around about 1,500 meters. Just straighten it up a bit. Three up from the bottom of the autopilot, can you see 4.17? That means we're 4.165 now, nautical miles away. So we're going to the VOR, so we're going to switch from nav 1 to nav 2 at the top, switch the R1 to R2 next to where that number is, which means we're now active on nav 2. Switch our heading bug to 90, and then as we come near up to it, we'll turn on that course. But remember, because we're heading to the right at the moment, it thinks we're on the left because we're heading the wrong way, so you want to turn away from it just slightly, so then it will ping back and then you'll be able to follow it. Alright, so here we go, we're starting our turn to turn away from it. On our heading bug, we're heading towards 90. Right, here we are, just turning onto the line. So we want to start to make a turn any minute now. And we want to turn towards our heading bug, which means then we will be on a course for London Heathrow VOR. Right, okay, so now we're reliant on nav 2. We can switch nav 1 on to standby, which means VOR 1 is now kicked in, which should take us all the way down to the airport. we don't need to worry about the heading bug anymore, because nav 1 is now set down to the airport surface, so we just need to follow that now. However, I'm still following nav 2, so I'm still 22.5 miles away. I just set nav 1 up, so then when we get close enough we can automatically just switch onto that. Alright, we're now 13.7 miles away, so we can take autopilot off, height-wise. And we can start to turn towards the VOR1 line, which is to our right. We select nav 1 on, so we can hear the Morse code to make sure we've got the right one. And obviously we switch DME to R1. We can see that we're 12.8 nautical miles away from the airport. VOR1 line now is coming down from right to left, so we want to catch that when it's in the middle. And we know that the runway is 09, which means it's 90 degrees, so our heading bug should be selected to 90, just so we've got a rough idea of where the runway is. If you look ahead, you can see the runway in the distance. And if it was a foggy day, this would still work exactly the same. You just obviously wouldn't be able to look out the window. Therefore, this is why it's useful. So now I'm just correcting myself to get onto that line. Now we're on that line, you can see the second line on VOR1 is starting to move very slowly. This is the height line, so at the moment it's saying we're below. If it went below the dotted line, it's mean we're too high for the glide slope. So we want to, when it hits the middle, we want to be going down at 3 to 500 feet per minute. Right, so we should start to go down now, around about 3 to 500 minute. If you look at the PARPI out ahead, which is the lights, they should be 2 white, 2 red for a good glide slope. And as you can see, it's 2 white, 2 red, and we're looking as if we're on the middle of the runway. Look at our VOR1, you can see that we're perfect at the moment. So now as we head to the runway, I'm just making really fine adjustments. This is when we completely have cut the throttle. Flare the plane. And we have touchdown, so we put on our brakes. And that's how you do a VOR flight, approach and ILS landing, all in the Cessna, without using the GPS. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.